by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming in the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Good evening. Welcome to the 2020 graduation ceremony of the Lake County campus of Woodland Community College. My name is Steve Wiley, and I am the Executive Dean for the Lake County campus here in Clear Lake. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you to this virtual graduation ceremony for the graduating class of 2020 from Woodland Community College, Lake County campus. Although this is a virtual ceremony, we hope that everybody will feel that they get the rich experience of acknowledging our student achievement in this remote world that we're living in due to COVID-19 and the novel coronavirus. There have definitely been some challenges this semester, and we want to recognize all of the extra effort that our students have put into their classes to make sure that they could be successful in this remote environment. We know it's been a challenge. It hasn't always been easy, but you've all done an amazing job, and I could not be more proud to stand here as your dean to recognize the achievement and accomplishment that each of you has made. We have a great lineup of speakers today. One of the advantages of doing this virtual ceremony is that we can actually have participation both from the president of our college, as well as the chancellor for the Yuba Community College District, and our Yuba Community College District trustee, Richard Doc Savarese, all participate in this virtual ceremony. We also have an amazing keynote speaker that I think will move you in ways that you didn't expect. We know that this ceremony will have meaning and value to you, and we hope that by posting this on social media, and as well as saving it on YouTube, will allow you to enjoy this ceremony and share it with your family for years to come. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the Woodland Community College President, Dr. Artemio Pimentel.
Good evening. Buenas noches a todos. My name is Art Pimentel, and I have the honor of serving as the college president for Woodland Community College. To the class of 2020, distinguished guests, members of the Board of Trustees, dignitaries, faculty and staff, friends and loved ones who are joining us tonight via live stream, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to such an important celebration for our community and our region. This is Woodland Community College's 12th commencement ceremony and our very first virtual ceremony. I sincerely hope that it will be our last virtual ceremony due to a pandemic. Tonight we honor our graduates. This is not the way I would have wanted to celebrate your hard work and dedication and academic excellence. I would have wanted to see each of you in person to witness firsthand your joy and your family's pride. But this ceremony remains special despite the circumstance because how we gather is not as important as why we gather. And we're here to honor your achievements, your commitment, and most importantly, the inspiration you bring to us and to those around you. Tonight, we recognize a total of 344 Woodland Community College graduates, 74 of whom are graduating from our Lake County campus. Colusa and Woodland campus students combined earned 455 awards, 416 degrees, and 39 certificates. Many of you have earned more than one degree. Most of our 2020 graduating class are between 20 and 24 years of age. But there are several of you who are 19 years of age or even younger. And some of you are a bit more mature. Today we even have several graduates older than 60, proving that one's education is certainly a lifelong journey. I want to acknowledge those who are the very first in their family to graduate from college. As a fellow first-generation graduate, I know just how special this achievement is. Not just for you as an individual, but for your entire family. You see, my parents were farm workers. They worked hard and made sacrifices so that I could pursue my education. I'm eternally grateful for that. And I'm grateful as well to the families of the graduates that have made similar sacrifices for you. We are stronger together, and our dreams are more easily achieved when we dream not alone, but as a community. I am proud to serve as president of this college, and never more than on this special day. Again, my sincerest congratulations and welcome to tonight's 2020 commencement ceremony.
Good evening. As trustee for the Yuba Community College District, on the Clear Lake campus specifically, I wish to congratulate the Clear Lake campus class of 2020. This is my 8th graduation ceremony as a trustee and probably my most memorable. For one thing, we've had to endure tough times during this pandemic, which has caused many disruptions in our normal life. One choice is to become a product of the situation and only see it as a crisis, which will surely stagnate you. Another choice is to view this as an opportunity where you'll be able to make decisions, hopefully, which can move you forward. Another reason is that this will be my last graduation ceremony as a trustee. My background has always been to help those who wanted to improve themselves. And I can think of no better place than here at the Clear Lake campus for those who want to do that. There will always be a place in my heart for the Clear Lake campus and the students and staff that I have met along the way. So, I bid you farewell, wish you good fortune, and hopefully some of you will remain in the community once you've fulfilled your career aspirations. Good luck, class of 2020.
Good evening. On behalf of the Governing Board of the Yuba Community College District and the faculty, staff, and administration of Woodland Community College, I would like to welcome all of you to this virtual commencement to celebrate the accomplishments of the class of 2020. Graduates, congratulations. We are here with you tonight to celebrate your many achievements. We, your family, your friends, your instructors, and the staff who supported you are all very proud of you. We are proud because, in some ways, your accomplishments are our accomplishments. You wouldn't be here if it weren't for the love, the support, and the encouragement of your family, your friends, and the Woodland Community College faculty, administrators, and staff. This has been a particularly challenging year. The coronavirus pandemic disrupted our lives in ways that no one could have imagined. In a mere matter of days, the faculty and staff of our colleges, and you, the students, had to flip from normal routines to sheltering in place with family, children, parents, and siblings. You suffered job loss, furloughs, layoffs, school closures, and if those stressors weren't already overwhelming, you had the additional burden of shifting your college learning to online and other remote methods. To be successful, you had to dig deep into your patience, perseverance, and drive. And you did. You overcame the odds and were successful despite the challenges. We're very proud to celebrate your accomplishments, but we are even more proud of the choices that you made to get yourselves here. In life, we are faced with opportunities and challenges. We have no control over when and where they occur, but we do have control over how we respond. When faced with opportunity, choose well. When faced with adversity, choose well. Certainly, you should try to follow your passions, but more than that, be passionate about your choices. Set high goals, and when you have achieved them, set even higher ones. Don't be afraid to fail. If you never try, you will never succeed. I thought it fitting to share some thoughts from a famous American philosopher, Theodore Geisel. Dr. Geisel may have been one of the smartest individuals of the 20th century. He entered Dartmouth at the age of 17 and then transferred to Oxford University, where he earned his PhD at age 23. He enlisted in the Army during World War II at the age of 39 and served stateside. After the war, he began the writing career for which he is most remembered. Who is Theodore Geisel? Well, you may know him as Dr. Seuss. And his last work was entitled, "Oh, the Places You'll Go." And here's just a bit. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you're the one who'll decide where to go. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang, and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. I'm sorry to say, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far, and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with great care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. Will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Graduates, this commencement marks only the end of a chapter in your life. Your future depends on what you do when you get up tomorrow. The journey will not be easy. People along the way will try to distract you from your goals. You'll be tempted to quit, to follow the easy path. Don't. You've already done the hardest part. You've proven to yourselves that you have the courage and perseverance to stick with something once started. You are the future of our communities, and you are the future of our country. Today you celebrate, but tomorrow you will make choices about the rest of your lives. Choose wisely. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Good day. My name is Sheila Faulkner-Lozer, and I'm the Director of Special Programs at the Lake County campus of Woodland Community College. It is my pleasure to introduce this year's class of 2020 graduation speaker, Nicholas Kiefer. Something Nicholas shared with me that I found very inspiring. Nicholas said that he actually rides his longboard to and from college as his primary mode of transportation. Wow, let me tell you, this young man has come a very long way. It is my honor to introduce Nicholas Kiefer.
Good evening. I would like to say congratulations to the graduating class of 2020, and thank you to the families and friends who have helped us along the way. I'd also like to thank the administration, faculty, and staff of Lake County campus of Woodland Community College for working so hard to make this graduation possible despite COVID-19. I'm Nicholas Kiefer, and I am the secretary for ASLCC, or the student government. I am also graduating with my associate's degree in culinary arts. The Lake County campus is a special place to me because it's helped me grow and get out of my shell, first with culinary arts, then with ASLCC. I was first introduced to the college when I was at Carleigh Williams High School. I was a senior that was behind in credit, and I struggled to pass English classes. One day, Bruno Sabatier came to Carleigh to talk to us about college and about the culinary roundup. I instantly signed up for the culinary roundup because it was a way out of normal classes, or out of normal high school classes, and I got to cook. It was super exciting to me. When I got to the campus, we were given a chef coat and cap and then sent off to go work with a student who was currently enrolled in the program. I was sent into the back for the first time to work on salad prep. It was really fun. After that day, I knew I was going to enroll in more culinary classes at Lake County campus. The moment I graduated high school, I signed up for the culinary program as well as culinary club. And before I knew it, 1 year had passed and I got my culinary certificate. Once that milestone was accomplished, I knew that I wasn't done and I had to sign up for my general education. And that was where I met my English instructor, Professor Gina Jones. I was nervous about having English classes, and Professor Jones helped me pass all my classes, including 3 English ones. Now I'm here, and I'm so proud to be giving a speech at graduation. ASLCC was the best thing I could have ever done. It pushed me out of my comfort zone. I saw it as a good way to improve professional skills as well as help the school. I had spent a lot of time learning from Tracy Williams the ins and outs of being a secretary. When Tracy and I first started, I felt like I may have taken on too much. But as we went on, the minutes became easier and I was on my way to a pro secretary. ASLCC was not all work. We had fun events like Monday Fun Day, which were my favorites. I got to use my culinary skills selling hot dogs, and we even started selling Red Bull infusions, even though I may have bought most of those. The money that we made from that went towards student scholarships. And last year, ASLCC gave out $800 in scholarships to students who demonstrated excellent campus citizenship. I am so proud of the work we did as ASLCC. One memory that stands out to me was, it was a really cool day and it started to snow. We were still out there selling hot dogs. We looked ridiculous though. ASLCC was a great experience. Thank you, ASLCC. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Carly administration for helping me graduate high school. Thank you to Chef Rob, Chef Ann, Chef Ian for helping me and teaching me everything I needed to learn in my culinary experience at Lake County campus. Thank you to Professor Jones for helping us as our ASLCC faculty advisor, as well as my English professor. I know it wasn't easy reading my handwriting. Finally, I'd like to thank all of Lake County campus administration, faculty, and staff for being so willing to help students. Once again, congratulations to the graduating class of 2020. And remember that graduation is not only about walking, but most importantly, it's about looking back at your accomplishments.
The Lake County Campus Medal is the highest honor that a graduating student can receive. The medal is awarded to a student who is graduating this year with at least a 3.75 grade point average, completed at least 12 units at the Lake County campus, and remained in good standing throughout their college career, as well as contributed to the campus community. The finalists for this award must submit a letter describing their accomplishments and volunteer work in the community. The faculty and staff of the Lake County campus review the applications and select the recipient, who this year will receive $500 as well as the medal. Their name will be added to a plaque that hangs in the lobby of the administration building. This year's recipient has had an amazing journey while attending the Lake County campus, participating in associated student body government, working in the business lab, tutoring fellow students, and more. This student is also active in the community, providing horseback riding lessons to children with disabilities, providing leading after-school workshops for kids to teach them about values and self-esteem. This student is exceptionally driven, and tonight is receiving not 1, not 2, but 7 associate degrees. He is graduating with a 3.94 grade point average. It is my honor to announce this year's recipient of the Lake County Campus Medal, Eric Adam Lee, Jr.
Hi, welcome to my backyard. I'm Dr. Mark Cooper, and I am immunocompromised. I have been given the distinct pleasure and honor to be able to give the commencement speech to the class of 2020 Clear Lake campus of Woodland College. I was asked by Steve Wiley, it was in an email, to give the commencement speech. And the first thing that I said was, that I asked him, two things, is, why'd you pick me? And then I asked him, what do you want me to talk about? And I really didn't get an answer on either one. So what I've had to do is pick out the topics. I'm going to talk to you about two things. And then, why me? Well, I don't even think Steve knew that I have a little bit of history with your college. And I'd like to give you a little bit of that history. What happened, let's start right actually from the beginning. Why do we even have Yuba College here? Well, when I got here, we had no college. I did actually take a welding class when I got out of dental school up here. I don't know if it was Mendocino or Yuba. I don't even remember who was actually teaching it. You know, when you're in college prep, you take foreign languages, you take your advanced math. You never get to actually do something you can use. So welding was my first community college course. But what happened is that Yuba College was actually giving room and board if you went to Marysville to our students at this end of the lake. So when we had the choice between the two colleges, Mendocino or Yuba, because we had to do this, the state said you had to do that, we picked Yuba College. They were going to give us room and board. But as time went on, Yuba College wanted to have a campus right here. And I was on the Canocta Unified School District from 77 to 89. And right below us, we were meeting at Oak Hill Middle School. Right below us is 5 empty acres, and we had no use for it. Now, if I was a little bit more mature back then, I would have said, hey, what about growth? You know, we should keep that empty area for growth. But we didn't. We said, yeah, let's give it to Yuba College, because we wanted some land right in the middle of Lakeshore Village, and we were going to build an elementary school there. So came up on the agenda, we signed the papers, and Yuba College got the land where your campus is right now. One of the worst decisions I ever made. I'm saying that in jest, but you'll see why it was a bad decision for Canocta Unified School District. We found out that land that Yuba College gave us in the middle of Lakeshore Village, we couldn't build on it. We couldn't make the elementary school. It wasn't big enough, number one, and then number two, was under the flight pattern of Pierce Field. So no way could we do anything. I think there's a small classroom there right now. In fact, I've been in it, so I know it's there. And that's it. That's what became of that. So what I'm pretty much telling you is, as a young board member, I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't represent the people of this community as well as I should have. But it was a good decision anyway, because you have your campus. I also have gone to many of your graduations. I don't do it anymore. But you know why I went to your graduations? Is because Yuba College had a big jazz band. Had some of the best musicians in the entire county, and once a week we'd meet together. I'm a drummer. We'd meet together and we'd play, and we always honored the graduates with a few songs before they accepted their diplomas. Had a great time doing that. But you know how that works. If you don't have a master's degree teacher, you can't have the class. It was a shame. In fact, I wish the community college would have more of those enrichment classes and keep us old people entertained even more. I also have fun teaching. Bill Cornelison, Dr. Bill Cornelison, he was your U.S. history teacher. I met him first as the superintendent of the Middletown School District. Then I hired him when I was on the Canocta Unified School District as a superintendent. And then I ran for the Lake County Office of Education, and now I'm currently on that. I've been on that for over 28 years. And then he ran for superintendent of the Lake County Office of Education. So I knew him for years. He was my closest friend, but unfortunately he's passed away. When we talk about the Cornelison Event Center, that's who we're talking about. But he was your U.S. history teacher, and he knew that I knew more about the Civil War than he did. So he would invite me in, and I would teach the Civil War, 2 classes a semester, the entire 3 hours to teach all the Civil War. And then one time, and that happened, we did that for over 10 years. And then another time, he was very well known in the state, and he went to do a WASC accreditation, because that's where you accredit high schools, except this high school was in Egypt. So he said, hey, Mark, you play music, right? I said, yeah, Bill, I do. He says, you know the 1920 to 1932 boom to bust? He says, there's a lot of jazz in there. I said, yeah, there was, Bill. Why don't you come in and teach my class since I'm going to be in Egypt? Okay, Bill. That lasted over 10 years. So I have very fond memories of teaching at your school. Now pretty much all I do is I do still go back to your school, usually once a week. That's to eat at Aromas. My wife and I have a great time just sitting down there and getting away from it all, just eating there. So maybe that's why he called on me, but I don't think, Steve, I don't think you know any of these things that I've just told you. I'd like to get to my topics now. The two topics are lifelong learning and what now. Lifelong learning is going to be a little history of how far I've gone and what happens if you don't do it. Not exactly like I do it, but that you don't do lifelong learning. What happens? The second topic I'd like to talk to you about is what now. I was FaceTiming with my brother who has the same immunocompromised condition that I do. And I said, hey, I've been given the honor to give the commencement speech. He says, I know what you're going to talk about. I said, you do? I said, yeah, this is what you're going to talk about. Okay, Steve, tell me what I'm going to talk about. He said, what now? Said, what now? How am I supposed to talk about what now? You know what I mean. We're in the middle of this staying at home in this pandemic. What's going to happen when we get out? What now? Well, I know there's going to be some changes. I actually lost sleep on this one. I know there's going to be some changes. When I went to India, we used to never shake hands. We go namaste. In Japan, we would bow. There's just all kinds. You can do the elbow bumps. I don't think I'll ever shake a hand again. And I know I'll have social distancing for a long time until hopefully a vaccine comes out. But what now? What am I going to do different after I get out of here than I was doing before? And my answer is probably not much, because what now is based on your values. What are your values? And that is one of the topics we're going to talk about. But let's start first with lifelong learning. I have a story to tell you. This is a true story. I'm going all the way back to the turn of the century, and I'm not talking about 2000, I'm talking about 1900. This is one of the first stories that my father told me. He was a junk man. My father never got out of 10th grade. My mother did graduate high school, but my father never got out of 10th grade. His job was to go in the peninsula with his truck and buy scrap metal for as cheap as he could, and then go to a scrapyard and try to get as much money out of it as he could. That's his job. In fact, I tell everybody the beard is a COVID beard. The mustache isn't. There's a big scar here when I broke a piece of pipe and it hit me in the face and broke my teeth and left me with a big scar. It also taught me I don't want to be a junk man. But here's Nellie. Here's the story of Nellie. Nellie's a horse. And we're talking about the turn of the 19th century. And at that time, there were horses and there were cars, and you had to be careful that the horses wouldn't get spooked. So what did you put on the horse? You put blinders. Blinders allowed the horse to look straight ahead and not get spooked by all the cars that are coming by him. So Nellie had blinders on, and they had him going up a hill in San Francisco, and they put too much weight on the back of that cart. Nellie lost its footing and slid down, and they did have to shoot Nellie. Now, that's a terrible story to tell, but for me the story was all about the blinders. See, those blinders allowed Nellie to only look straight forward. Nellie couldn't see what's out to the sides. Nellie only could look straight forward. And as I tell you the rest of this story about lifelong learning, and I tell you the rest of this story about values, I want you to think about those blinders and think about where you're at. You know, for me, it's the peripheral vision. I think the basketball players, I think their peripheral vision all the way goes to the back of their head. They're so good at it. But I'm going to be talking about the peripheral vision, meaning that you can see a bigger picture than you have before you got your certificate, your graduation diploma. Remember, when you listen to TV and they talk about polls, you are now in a different category. You are in among college-educated voters. They vote this way. Those that are not college-educated, they lean this way. You're now the college-educated voters. But do you think the education you got now is going to be all the knowledge you need to have? Absolutely not. I want to show you something here. I'd like you to, first of all, guess what it is on your own, then maybe even show it to your parents. But you know what? You might even have to show it to their parents. You know what this is? I went into lunchtime in the 8th grade and spent hours and hours and hours to learn to use this. Because if I could learn to use this, I could the teacher said I could use it in a test. You see how it works? It goes back and forth. But it took hours to learn all of that. You know what they have out now that does the exact same thing? A calculator. This was called a slide rule. Outdated. The question I have is, how come I can't throw it away? I still have this from the 8th grade, plus a lot of these. So that's my first example of what I call lifelong learning. Lifelong learning for me continued on from the 8th grade. I went to high school, South San Francisco, and I have to just tell you a quick little story there, is that I was a junior, and there was this blonde who was a sophomore, and I still remember all the way in the corner of the room. I have a photographic picture of this in my brain, a blonde, and she was cute. Well, the following year, my senior year, we ended up in a class called speech class, and she's there in speech class. You know, that's where you learn to give speeches. You could do it instead of your English requirement. And then I also learned how to debate, and learned how to debate this cute little blonde who is now my wife, and we've been debating ever since. This is actually our 50th anniversary, but we've been together for 55 years. So that was high school. That was in South San Francisco. From there, I went to a college called Raymond College. Raymond College was part of the University Pacific. It actually ceased to exist because this was in the 60s. It was a liberal arts school. I graduated in 3 years. I didn't have any grades. I didn't have any major or minor. And I knew a little of everything from sociology to religion to economics to biology to everything you could think of we had to learn. And it qualified me to do absolutely nothing because I didn't have a major or minor. So from there, I went on to UC Davis, where I have my master's degree in zoology from UC Davis. But let me tell you a little bit about what we learned there, or what our lab did there. You'll never guess where we studied. We studied right here in Clear Lake. What we were studying was a bird called the western grebe. Got all kinds of those in the lake. But when I was studying, I had to actually in an airplane count each bird, and we almost had none. Why? Because we were dumping the pesticide DDT all over Clear Lake to get rid of the Clear Lake gnat. And then the zooplankton ate the DDT. And the little fish ate the zooplankton. And then the birds came and ate the little fish. And then they sat on their eggs, and the eggs collapsed from the DDT that was concentrated in them. We almost destroyed an entire ecosystem by what mankind did right here in Clear Lake. You have to remember it was being done all over the world too. So I learned about a value I'll talk to you about called stewardship. What's your obligation now that you are college educated? Well, from there I went on to the University of the Pacific and dental school, which is actually in San Francisco. and graduated pretty high up. I won't brag anymore, but pretty high up. But I started thinking about, what did I learn about in dental school? Well, I can tell you now, I used silver fillings for years and years. Those are the ones with the mercury in them. I don't use them now. I used to make bridges. You know what a bridge is? It's if you're missing a tooth. So you take the tooth behind the missing space and you drill it down. You take the tooth on the other side and you drill it down. Then you make two crowns and you hang the false tooth in between, exactly like the Golden Gate Bridge, 2 towers and the span. And then you put it in and you got your tooth back there. The only trouble is you went and ruined 2 perfectly good teeth to put back one. What do we do now? You don't hear about bridges. We do implants now. The latest thing as far as lifelong learning that I have just completed, I actually helped to teach at the University of California, San Francisco. It's called Sleep Medicine for Dentistry. There's so many people that have to wear CPAP machines where when they try to go to sleep, everything collapses here and you hear them snoring and gasping for breath. It's actually a disease that can actually end up through blood pressure, through diabetes, through everything, really killing you. So people wear CPAP machines. That means you have to wear a mask. There's different kinds of masks. Well, there's a lot of people that can't tolerate that over their mouth. So what did we do? We meaning dentists, we made appliances that advance jaw forward and opens up this area so it's not obstructed anymore. And what's the last thing that I ended up doing just recently is teaching the dentists at the clinic how to do it. And so that was never taught to me in dental school. Those things happen later. Would you ever want to have a surgery by a doctor that never continued his education? The bottom line is we have to continue our education by law in order to keep our license. Otherwise, we lose it. It's gone. At the end of June, I'm hanging it up. Right now, I'm not seeing patients, but I'm the director of the dental clinics here in Lake County, one at the high school and the main one on Lakeshore. And that's going to be the end of my dental career. But at least I can step back and say, yeah, I learned all my life right up to the end of my career, and I was able to impart that to other people. What I'd like to do now is to change to the values that I talked about, the 4 values. Those values are treating people with dignity, so the word is dignity. The next word is integrity. The next one is treating people with compassion. And the 4th one is stewardship. These are values that I have lived with, I will continue to live with, as long as COVID doesn't get me. And I'm hoping that you will pick out the values that you want to live by. So let's start with stewardship first. It is your obligation, as far as I'm concerned, to leave a legacy. The legacy is something that you can say, well, you know, I left the world just a little bit better than when I arrived. And that stewardship is taking care of your body. That's part of stewardship. But it's also taking care of your family, and it's also taking care of your community. And your community can be just Clear Lake, your community can be Lake County, your community can be the state, it can be the United States, or it could be the world. We call that globalization. The first part of stewardship I'd like to talk to you about is something that I experienced probably in the 90s. I was asked by State Superintendent of Public Instruction, Delane Easton, who was under Gray Davis, I believe, and Pete Wilson as governors, to sit on a commission that would analyze the civic responsibility of our schools. So what does that mean? Well, here's what she told us. That between the ages of 18 and 25, less than 25% of the people vote. Did we not teach that right, that your obligation is to vote? And at a recent conference I went to just a few years ago, the number changed. Now it's less than 8% that go out and vote between 18 and 25. Why? What have we done wrong? Well, this is all about stewardship. So I am encouraging you to be good stewards. And that means, again, taking care of your body. The mantra that I use there is that for the first time in human mankind existence, the next generation is going to have a shorter lifespan than the previous generation. That is unheard of in world history, except maybe outside the plague. Unheard of. Why? A good part of it is our drug use, but a bigger part is obesity. How are we taking care of our bodies? Be a steward of your body. And what about the rest of the world? What about the DDT? What about the climate change? You have input on that. Hopefully you'll have better input on it than my generation, because we're sure failing it. Remember the studies of DDT in Clear Lake and project that in a more massive scale, what mankind is doing to the world. You need to be stewards of all of that, to take care of it. And above all, be the steward of your family. To me, that's number one. So we'll go to the next value. And for me, it's integrity. You know what integrity for me is really all about? Not lying. Do not lie. Remember, if you never lie, you never have to remember what you said. And another part of this, and I get in trouble for this, is pay your bills. Or make arrangements if you are unable to pay your bills. In my own dental office, people that just didn't pay their bills, yeah, we went to collections on them. Those that said, you know, I just can't afford to do it right now, but if you can accept $5 a month, I know I'll make the payment. Never looked back at that. We always accepted that. But if you just don't pay your bills, to me, that's like theft. And I know there's circumstances where you can't. But I'm still saying the value should be there, that you go into a contract with the intention of paying your bills. I'd like to go into compassion, and this one's going to sound really funny to you. I'm glad I'm not a dentist working on patients right now. I'm glad. I'm done. It's over. And you'll really laugh when I tell you this. When I gave an injection, we never called them shots because that was like I was going to shoot you. We called them injections. I felt as if I was giving that injection to myself. And when I hit a nerve by accident, and you jumped, I jumped with it. My heart had to take it out of my throat a lot of times during that career. It's because I really cared about what I was doing to other people. Know of the decisions that you make and know what they have the potential of doing to the other people. If you keep compassion, feelings for people in your heart, it'll come back to you in a good way. And that's what I'm actually segueing into. And that is the concept of dignity. I'm going to tell you an absolutely true story. I can't use the name of the person, but I'll call her Barbara for now. The first day we opened the Medi-Cal, or we call it Dentical Clinic, you know, the one on Lakeshore, we had a young lady that came in, and the teeth were rotted. I mean, black all over. And the front we're talking about, all over, but the part you could see is in the black. And she was very scared, very worried I was going to give her a lecture, which I didn't do. Because my attitudes can't change the past. We can make it a good future, we can't change the past. So what do? We talked with her. We said, this is our game plan. We need you to show up, and then we're going to take care of you. We're going to give you a good smile. And she just left beaming. In fact, she subsequently, we did that. Subsequently had a child, and we even posted her picture, the child's picture in the clinic. And then I started to go downhill. I have a kidney transplant. That's why I'm immunocompromised. But I got to tell you a little bit how that all happened, or how it went down. When I say downhill, you start to become very, very tired. Your legs just swell up, just full of fluid. And eventually, in your arm, they put a cannula in there, and you end up going down on Olympic to DaVita dialysis unit, and they clean your blood. Well, I wasn't in dialysis yet. I was actually president of the Redwood Empire Dental Society, the first Lake County dentist to do that. So even in Santa Rosa, everybody knew that Dr. Cooper needs a kidney. And they actually put it even in their newsletter that Dr. Cooper needs a kidney. And so let me tell you two stories about Barbara. Now this one is before the kidney. And that is we were in Walmart, and if you're walking down the aisle towards the grocery section, there's Barbara. She comes running up because my wife and I are there, and she says, "Is this your wife? Is this your wife?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my wife." And she says, "Mrs. Cooper, I need to tell you that Dr. Cooper is the first doctor to ever take the time to talk to me." Well, obviously I got a smile. I talked to everybody. It wasn't just her. But to her, it was really important. Okay, now we're going to go a little later in time, and I'm really getting sick. And that's where it appeared in the paper that Dr. Cooper needs a kidney. And now I'm in the parking lot of Walmart with my wife, so the story is absolutely true. Who comes out with a few less teeth is Barbara. And I said, "Hi, Barbara, how are you? You remember my wife, Janice?" She says, "Yes." She says, "Dr. Cooper, I need to talk to you about something." She says, she says, "Dr. Cooper, I heard you need a kidney, and I'd like you to have mine." The lesson I learned, obviously, because I'm telling you about it, will last me forever. I treated her with dignity, and boy, did she treat me with dignity. Now, I didn't take her kidney. What ended up happening is my daughter, Jacqueline, who actually Jacqueline Snyder taught law, one of the law classes at the college there. She ended up saying, "Dad, I'm going to find you a kidney," and she did. It was a dispatcher at the Clear Lake Police Department. She said, "I'm going to give you my kidney." Obviously, there was a lot of tears. She went and got tested before she even told me to find out if she was a match. This was all going on with my daughter without me knowing. She was a match. I do have her kidney, and I have traveled all over the world because I wasn't hooked up to the dialysis unit. I've been in every continent, including Antarctica, with her gift. So I'd like to finish this little story with a letter that I wrote. And I'll tell you right now, I do get emotional when I read this letter. But it was written on March 24th, 2012. I actually found it because I backed up some old computers that I no longer have. And it says, "Hi, Nicole. Tuesday night, as I was trying to sleep before our trip to Sacramento, UC Davis, I couldn't stop thinking of you. Please don't consider this an intrusion, but I kept asking myself, who are you? Why would you give me part of your body or soul to me? Although I don't post on Facebook, I've read everything you have posted. Again, this was not meant to spy on you, but rather to try in some way to figure out why I have been so blessed to have you come into my life. Although I will never know your motivation, I look at you and see the word good. I define that word in a spiritual sense. If the world was filled with generous people like you, there would be no malcontent. Janice, my wife, told me this morning that between you and Jacqueline, my daughter, you have named the kidney Angelina, Angel. My promise to you is to treat Angelina with respect, which includes the house that holds it. I hope to use you as one of many resources for a healthy lifestyle. You've already started in that role. I'm sure you know that the highest priority in my life is the well-being of my wife and family. Jacqueline, my daughter, is my angel and always brings sunshine to my life. With you, the rays have become brighter. My plans with my new life will not change. I want to dedicate my healthy future to my family and to the community and to you. I am thrilled that I'll be able to help my grandchildren grow and mature. I look forward to playing Santa Claus at the Rotary Christmas Community Dinner. I look forward to the building of a health center at Lower Lake High School, which I did. I look forward to improving the educational future of our children throughout Lake County by serving on the Lake County School Board, which I continue to do. I look forward to serving the needy at the dental clinic. I look forward to living a long, fruitful, giving life. This is my attempt to express my gratitude. Words are thin, but my heart is full. Thank you for being Nicole. I'd like to finish. Remember I said there are 4 values, and then you fill in the 5th one? Just today, just before I recorded this, my brother, I called him, my older brother, his different brother, and asked him how things are going. He's having to make some decisions about his wife. And he says, Mark, I don't know if I did the right thing in the past. I don't know if I'm a good man. And this is something that Dr. Cornelis, and I'm going to leave you with, said to my wife, Janice, when her mother died and she was in deep grief. She said, Mark, or he said, Mark, in the end, there's only going to be 2 things that you're going to wonder about. You're going to wonder, am I loved? And have I loved enough? Congratulations, class of 2020.
Good evening, graduates, and all who are here to celebrate them. This is Tara Williams, your transfer counselor, and on behalf of myself, Ingrid Larson, our EOPS CalWorks counselor, and all of the Lake County campus faculty, staff, and administration, I would like to honor our students who have been admitted to and intend to continue their education at the following universities in the fall. We admire the tremendous amount of perseverance and determination you've exhibited. These are our transfer students. Admitted and attending California State University, Sacramento are Jonathan S. Benavides, Amanda Marie Bortoli, Jennifer Jaime Arambaro, Marianne Alicia Marie Silsby. Admitted and planning to attend California State University, Chico are Christine Yvonne Davis, Krista Michelle Friend, Ariana Montero PA. Admitted and planning to attend Humboldt State University is Tessa Maria Ketchum. Admitted and planning to attend Pepperdine University is Julianne Marie Carter. And admitted and planning to attend University California, Davis are Madison Delani Naughton and Andrew Luis O'Reilly Flores. Congratulations to all of you.
And now we present the 2020 graduates of the Lake County campus of Woodland Community College. Lydia Lace Amos. Lydia is receiving an Associate in Science degree in Early Childhood Education. Lydia's expression of gratitude: thank you to my friends, family, professors, and all the Lake County campus staff who helped me stay motivated and supported me throughout my experience here. Holly Heather Austinson. Holly is receiving the Chemical Dependency Counselor Associate in Science degree. Bobby Blue Barnes. Bobby is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Jonathan S. Benavides. Jonathan is receiving the Associate in Arts for Transfer degree in Economics. Amanda Marie Bortoli. Amanda is receiving 3 degrees, an Associate in Science for Transfer, Business Administration, an Associate in Science, Business Administration, and an Associate in Science, Natural Sciences, and Mathematics. She will be transferring to California State University, Sacramento. Amanda had this to share. I would like to say thank you to all of the professors, counselors, and faculty members over the years who have helped me along my extensive journey. Each and every one I will remember and carry their advice to my transferring college. One faculty member in particular I would like to thank is Mary Wilson. Thank you for helping me in a pinch and always checking in on me when you'd see me around. I will remember you always. Lastly, I also want to give a tremendous thank you to my parents for being my rocks and always supporting me in everything I do. I love you. I couldn't ever thank you both enough. I couldn't have done it all without all of you who have supported me. Therese Ann Caldwell. Therese is receiving the Natural Sciences and Mathematics Associate in Science degree. Ryan Scott Campbell. Ryan is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Accounting. Ryan wishes to share, thank you to my family. Without your support, I would never have done all of this. I know it was hard to go through, but we did it. When I thought I couldn't go any further, you were there to say, yes, you can. My wife for understanding that school was important to me and supporting me while I was studying and doing my homework. At times, both of us were so stressed out, but you still pushed me to continue my education. Finally, my 3 boys. I really want to thank you for being my inspiration for all of this. When I was tired and wanted to give up, all I thought about was you guys. Your little faces is what I thought about and saw when I didn't want to work my hardest. You continued to push me. Thank you. Julianne Marie Carter. Julianne is receiving the Associate in Arts degree in Social and Behavioral Sciences and will be transferring to Pepperdine University in the fall. Paul Ray Cook. Paul is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Accounting. Christine Yvonne Davis. Christine is receiving the Associate in Arts degree in Social and Behavioral Sciences. Christine had this to share. Thank you for all the support and encouragement during this journey. I could not have made it without the occasional push and endless support you all gave to me. Both Mr. Pizer, Mr. P, and Mr. Papin, the other Mr. P, along with Mr. Miller, Tara Williams, Stanley Silsby, Kim Bowles, and Mary Wilson get an extra shout out for never ever letting me give up. Your smiles of encouragement, belief in me, and your Kleenex are greatly appreciated. Alonzo Frias. Alonzo is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Krista Michelle Friend. Krista is receiving 3 degrees today. She's receiving an Associate in Arts degree in Anthropology, an Associate in Science for Transfer in Business Administration, and an Associate in Arts degree in Economics. She'll be transferring to California State University, Chico in the fall. Krista's message to friends and family, I want to wholeheartedly thank my wonderful family, friends, and staff and faculty on campus. I honestly never thought that I would be transferring, but with my professors and counselors pushing me to do what I am capable of, I am now proudly graduating from LCC and transferring to Chico State for my bachelor's and more. Here's to the future for all of us. Andrea Garcia Morales. Andrea is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Andrea wishes to share, college may be hard and tedious, but in the end, it will be worth it. Eric Gassner Woolwage. Eric is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Heidi Carolina Glenton Cano. Heidi is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Elsa Ariadna Gonzalez. Elsa is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Rosa Angelica Lopez Guevara. Rosa is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Administration of Justice, Law Enforcement. Rosa wishes to share, I want to thank my family and friends for the support you guys have given me, but most importantly, I want to thank my mom, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today. She is the one thing that has kept me going and given me her love and support, regardless of the outcome. She has been my #1 supporter throughout this journey. Rick Hammond. Rick is receiving the Chemical Dependency Counselor Associate in Science degree. Rick's expression of gratitude says, it's been almost 6 years since that night that changed my life. My father was murdered by a kid on drugs. Now I am ready to help people like him. As one of my instructors said, this class has had some adversity to deal with from fires, floods, power shutoffs, and now the virus, but we still made it. I would like to thank all of my family and friends, even those no longer with us. Thank you to all of the staff, instructors, and tutors. Next, I'd like to thank everyone at Behavioral Health for helping me make this happen. I would also like to give credit where credit is due to Dave, Phil, Joey, and Leonard for everything since 1983. May Lord Stanley's Cup find its way to San Jose. Thank you. May the Force be with you. Jessica Lauren Harrison. Jessica is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Jessica wishes to share, thank you to my husband for encouraging me to go back to school and supporting me, my son for being my motivation, and my family and friends for the support. Janet Hernandez. Janet is receiving the Administrative Assistant Associate in Science degree. Sabrina J. Hooper. Sabrina is receiving the Natural Sciences and Mathematics Associate in Science degree. Sabrina's message to friends and family, my wonderful fiance, my dad and my mom, all my friends who supported me and helped me get here, thank you. Also thank you most to my beautiful daughter Scarlett for motivating me to be my very best. Jennifer Jaime Aramburo. Jennifer is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Early Childhood Education. Tessa Maria Ketchum. Tessa is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Human Services. Tessa's expression of gratitude says, to my family and friends, thank you for always supporting me and believing in me. To all of my fellow graduates, I'm proud of you all and I wish all of you success with wherever you decide to go from here. Nicholas Cody Ernest Kiefer. Nicholas is receiving the Associate in Arts degree in Culinary Arts. Nicholas wishes to share, to my family and friends, thank you for all the support and love you gave me while I went for my degree. Kyle Russell Kopp. Kyle is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Kyle had this to share. I love you all and thank you for your support. Eric Adam Lee, Jr. Eric is receiving 7 degrees tonight. He is receiving the Associate in Science for Transfer degree in Business Administration, as well as the Associate in Arts for Transfer in Economics. He's receiving the Associate in Science for Accounting, the Associate in Science for Small Business Management, the Associate in Science Business Computer Applications, the Associate in Science Business Administration, and the Associate in Science General Business Management. Eric's message to friends and family. First, I want to thank my parents for being the first to motivate me to go back to college. I would like to secondly thank the staff and professors at Lake County campus. My fellow students and I are so incredibly blessed to have you. It is so rare to have faculty that knows you by name and goes out of their way to be available to invest in your success. So thank you once again, and a special thank you to the business department for putting up with the Steve, Richard, and Eric trio. To my fellow classmates, thank you all for being the best classmates one could hope to have through this journey. Thank you all, and God bless you. Thomas Benjamin Madrid. Thomas is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Thomas's message to his friends and family: thank you to my lovely wife. You helped me stay on course and accomplish my goals. Thank you to my family and friends for always believing in me. Brandy Jamie Sheila Maresh. Brandy is receiving the Associate in Arts degree in Culinary Arts. Ariana Montero Pille. Ariana is receiving the Associate in Science for Transfer degree in Business Administration. Madison Nalani Naughton. Madison is receiving the Associate in Arts for Transfer degree in Political Science. Madison wishes to share: thank you for all of your support. Sherilyn Annette Nutting. Sherilyn is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Jameson Rose O'Brien. Rose is receiving 2 degrees tonight, the Associate in Arts degree in Culinary Arts, as well as the Associate in Science degree in General Business Management. Rose had this to share: I want to say a special thanks to the staff at the Lake County campus of Woodland Community College. I could not have chosen a better place to achieve my goals. Richard Dominic Okino. Richard is receiving 2 degrees tonight, an Associate in Science degree in Chemical Dependency Counselor, as well as the Associate in Science degree in Human Services. Richard's message: first, I would like to thank my family who put up with my selfishness during my time here at Woodland Community College, especially my wife, Jennifer. I could not have accomplished all that I have without your support. Secondly, I would like to give thanks to the following people who believed in me throughout my journey: Bruno Sabatier, Ellie Frank, Peggy Alexander, and Janelle Strick. Lastly, I want to give a very special thanks to CISA and Doug Harris, who have been instrumental in my success as a student, but more importantly, as a human being. Doug has inspired me to continue my education at all costs and not settle with this first milestone. When he broke his leg and couldn't finish teaching the Human Services 2022 class, he sent me an email and stated, "Please continue your dogged pursuit of your education and career goals." This quote I will take with me wherever I go in life to remind me I have more to accomplish. And CISA, I will never forget when I came back to college after leaving for 4 years. You explained that, for those who are in the helping profession, your job is to hold hope for those who can't see or feel the hope they have within themselves. And you held the hope for me long enough until I was ready to accept it and utilize it. I want you to know that I incorporate this statement into my career as a substance abuse counselor with every client I come in contact with. Once again, thank you, CISA and Doug Harris. Andrew Luis O'Reilly Flores. Andrew is receiving the Associate in Arts for Transfer degree in Economics. Andrew had this to share: thank you to everyone who supported me along this chapter of my journey. I will miss much of the staff and faculty from the Clear Lake campus. I hope everyone is safe in these hard times. Juanita A. Perez. Juanita is receiving the Associate in Science degree, Administrative Assistant. Juliana Marie Yvonne Peters. Juliana is receiving the Culinary Arts Associate in Arts degree. Juliana's message to friends and family: thank you, Luke, Destiny, Kevin, and Mom, for helping me become the woman that I am today. I also want to thank my best friends for helping me with notes and my homework. I love you guys. Samuel Kenneth Peters. Samuel is receiving the Associate in Science for Transfer degree in Business Administration. Ilana Michelle Pruitt. Ilana is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Isabella Renee Quintana. Isabella is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Daniel Isaac Rader. Daniel is receiving 2 degrees tonight. He's receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree, as well as the Associate in Science in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Vandana Kumari Reddy. Vandana is receiving the Associate in Arts degree for transfer in Psychology. Marina Nicola Rickner. Marina is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Rachel Elizabeth Samuels. Rachel is receiving the Associate in Science degree in General Business Management. Scott Raymond Schisler. Scott is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Angel Lee Shields. Angel is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Jonathan Andrew Silsby. Jonathan is receiving 2 degrees tonight. He's receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree, as well as an Associate in Science degree in Small Business Management. Jonathan had this to share. It has been a privilege and a thrilling journey studying at Woodland Community College. I want to thank God for helping me to achieve this goal, my teachers for the knowledge they have passed on, and for the rapport. Lastly, to my family for all their affection and encouragement. I love you guys. Marianne Alicia Marie Silsby. Marianne is receiving the Associate in Science degree, Administrative Assistant. Marianne's expression of gratitude: thank you to my family, friends, staff, and faculty. I wouldn't be here without all of your help and guidance. I'm very grateful for all of you. Michael Anthony Smith. Michael is receiving 2 degrees tonight. He's receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree, as well as the Associate in Science degree in Small Business Management. Michael wishes to share, it's never too late to go back and finish what you started. Sometimes we just take extended breaks so we can grow a little before finishing the journey. Scott Lamar Sullivan. Scott is receiving the Chemical Dependency Counselor Associate in Science degree. Katie Sust. Katie is receiving the Associate in Arts degree in Social and Behavioral Sciences. Angela Lynn Tamani. Angela is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Accounting. Angela's message to friends and family: I just wanted to thank everyone for the never-ending support and encouragement. When I started this whole process, I was overwhelmed, even scared, but most of all, determined. If it were not for the people that have helped out and been there cheering me on, I would not have been able to do this. Marilyn Suzanne Taylor. Marilyn is receiving the Drinking Water and Wastewater Technology Associate in Science degree. Kimberly Ann Viescas. Kimberly is receiving the Associate in Science degree in Natural Sciences and Mathematics. Anna Julia Webb. Anna is receiving the Associate in Science degree in General Business Management. Sade White. Sade is receiving the Associate in Science degree, Administrative Assistant.
Class of 2020, please stand. As a trustee for the Yuba Community College District, I hereby confer all the rights and privileges of the associate degree. Class, you may now change your tassels. You are now graduates, and I wish you good luck in your future endeavors. Congratulations.
In closing, I would just like to once again thank you for coming, thank you for participating, thank you for being here. Not every student wanted to participate in this virtual ceremony because it just didn't feel quite the same as being able to walk across the stage, shake my hand, and receive that honorary diploma. And I understand that, and I sympathize. However, we wanted to make sure that we did recognize the achievement and accomplishment of each one of our students so that you could celebrate this in this online environment and at least acknowledge the fact that these students had to work extra hard in order to achieve their associate degrees this year. All students who participated in this virtual ceremony will be invited to come back next year for an actual in-person graduation ceremony. We will make sure that all of the 2020 graduates are recognized and acknowledged, even though it will be 1 year after their actual official graduation. We think that this is important and it does allow them to have that experience of walking in front of their friends and family, walking across the stage, and acknowledging with the dean their accomplishments. But we also hope that they will cherish this memento of their accomplishments that actually happens at the time of their actual graduation. We thank you again for coming, for being here, for supporting your family as they continue their educational goals, whether they are going into the workforce or transferring or just appreciating the new skills they've developed. We hope that you will recognize and appreciate their accomplishments and celebrate them today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you again for coming. Take care, God bless, and Lake County strong.